Oh, we live. Let's get it. My guy Kai tuned in from North Carolina. Peace and love, family. Drop the city you guys are all tuned in from. Grateful to be here for another, live stream. As promised, in the fourth quarter, I played college football back in my high school. We always threw up the fours because we knew fourth quarter is where we come alive. We are meant for, these type of times. And so I like to pride myself in closing out whatever it may be. Any game, any business opportunity, my health, going harder than I've ever gone in the gym all year. Really closing out the fourth quarter of 2023, with 100%. And so I'm super grateful to be here, on another live. We haven't missed yet, y'all. So super grateful. It's December 14th. This is the 14th live of December, and I'm honored to be able to come here and provide value for you guys. And so on today's live, whether you guys have known about consumer law, whether you guys are new to hearing about consumer law, and I'm going to break down it in the most simple terms. I'm going to break down the importance of knowing consumer law so that we are able to go out and remove anything from our consumer report. Imagine you guys being able to know how to do for yourself. And that's where the power truly comes. Yes, me and my company do help clients out there and mainly these clients are clients that, have things going on, whether it be they're a truck driver, whether it be they're a stay-at-home mom with, 4 kids, etc. And so even on top of our services, what we do provide and get all of our clients into is different chats into where we're not coming back down the road going through the same problems that we just helped our clients fix. And so I want you guys all, and the power truly does come from you guys knowing how to do for self. Within my personal mentorship, I'm not gonna fish for y'all. I'm gonna show you guys how to fish, because if I fish for you guys, yes, I can feed you for a day. But if I show you how to fish, I could feed you guys for a lifetime. And so that's what we are doing, and that's what I am teaching within the mentorship is, for you guys to go out and be able to fish for yourself so we can go out and teach the next generations this information. And so today is a call for all of my newbies with consumer law. A lot of people, there's a big question out there on whether consumer law or the consumer report or the credit score is more important, aka credit report and versus credit score. There's nothing that Congress defines as a credit report. The term credit report was a made up, make-believe, fictitious term as well to deceive you guys into knowing the true definition of a consumer report and what truly is a consumer report. And I'm gonna lead you guys into where you guys can find that today, on today's call. If you guys are part of the mob, definitely check out the FCRA overview. The FCRA overview, I break down every definition within the FCRA, and I'll show you guys how to remove anything from your consumer report with the FCRA. And so today, this is for, once again, all of my newbies, and I'm going to show you guys how a consumer report is a lot more powerful than a credit score. I'm going to show you guys that by controlling the consumer report, we're able to dictate, what is on and reflecting with the credit score. And so, without a credit score, there's still going to be that consumer report. But without a consumer report, there is no credit score. Or without no consumer report, there is no credit score. But even with there being no credit score, there's still going to be that consumer report. So let me say it again, because I confused myself. So I know y'all probably confused a little. But with no credit score, there's still going to be a consumer report. With no consumer report, there is no credit score. So controlling that consumer report is the most vital thing. So I'm going to show you guys where to find it, where to look for an official copy of a consumer report. I'm going to show you some things that me and my team can do for you guys to break down your consumer report, so that if you guys don't know how to read a consumer report, I'm going to break it down in the most simple terms through via email. And this is completely free. And you guys will be able to hop on a 5 to 10 minute consultation call with me and I'll even help you guys break down even more in depth what's on your consumer report and some steps that you guys can take to go ahead and get these things removed from your consumer report. Just go ahead and text the number down below in the description, the 305 number, and we'll get back to you. And for those that have been looking to get in contact with us all week, our system has been down since Monday, and so we haven't been able to attend to our clients that have been reaching out to the 305 number or that have scheduled calls. So we will have our system back up within the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll get back to you guys this weekend, and we'll be doing some calls both this Saturday and Sunday. So if you guys did schedule any calls throughout the week, make sure you guys are definitely looking out this weekend for us to get back to you to follow up. And so without further ado, family, let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and let's get into the teachings today. So first things first, I want you guys to understand that coming to annualcreditreport.com, you guys are able to get an official free credit report. So this is free. Granted, it doesn't give you guys a copy of your credit score, but this will show you guys everything that you need to see on your consumer report. So if you guys don't have $1 for the next step that I'm about to show you guys and where we're able to get that audit done and complete, then myannualcreditreport.com is a free site where you guys can get an official copy from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. I'll talk about there being over 330 consumer reporting agencies. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are not the only three that's out there. There's LexisNexis, SageStream, Innovis, ARS, Check System. All right, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys all to go look up on the CFPB's website a list of consumer reporting agencies. And it's going to show you guys a list of over 300 consumer reporting agencies. And it's going to show you guys that there's a lot more than what we're taught, being Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All right, there's so many other consumer reporting agencies that are furnishing information upon us. For instance, driving record. If you guys have a lot of speeding tickets, you guys can pull your LexisNexis report, and you guys will see that LexisNexis also furnishes a lot of information as well. And so upon your driving record and or any public records, if you guys are looking to open up a checking account, a lot of times you guys may be like, how is this affecting me from opening up a checking account if I got derogatory counts on these consumer reports? Check System is where these banks are pulling from when they are opening up a lot of checking accounts. And so if you guys have a closed account, even though it may not be on your quote unquote credit report with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, it's going to be reported through Check System, which when these banks and when you guys are looking to open up a checking account, they're going to go ahead and see that you have derogatory counts on your Check System report. You guys may not even know that you do have derogatory counts on it. So that's why I do advise you guys go pull these reports as well too. But above all else, let's start with annualcreditreport.com for the big three: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The next thing that we can go ahead and get done, and this is where the audit can come in play and where me and my company can send you guys a breakdown of your consumer report, what's on it, and how we're able to help you. If we're not able to help you, steps that you guys can take to go ahead and get these things removed from your guys' consumer report. And so Identity IQ, it is $1 for 7 days. And then after that, it would be $27 a month to stay active. This is a credit monitoring system where this does not only show you an official copy every single month, an updated copy of your report, but it will also give you guys your accurate FICO credit scoring system, which 95% of these lenders are going to be seeing as well too. Why I say 95% and not 100% is because every lender, no matter where you guys pull from, is going to have a different credit score, right? So what I want you guys to understand is that a credit score is all made up, is all make-believe based upon, the data points from these lenders. These lenders are pulling your consumer report, what's on your consumer report, and you guys will see that no matter where you go, each credit monitoring system or each lender will have a different credit score for you guys. And so don't get too stuck up upon the credit score once again, but let's focus upon what's on our consumer report. So there is 6 data points that I do love to cover and break down for all of my newbies and people new to consumer law and or just the credit space as a whole. The first one is having 100% payment history. See, what I want you guys to understand is that 35% of your consumer report is payment history. The second one would be your utilization. So let's say we do got a credit card, or we're added on to our parents' credit card as an authorized user, right? If you guys don't know about authorized users yet, I definitely would get in tune and start learning about authorized users. Authorized users are things that can help aid your report. It can help your report, with the payments. It can help with the utilization go down. But the utilization, let's say we have $1,000 credit card, we want to have that below 10%. I know typically they've told us that we want to keep it below 30%, which isn't affecting our report, but is also not helping our consumer report. What's going to positively help our consumer report is keeping it between 2 to 8%. That's going to positively help build out our report. So that's the second one. The third one, and that's 30% of your report. So that already right there is 65% of your consumer report. So these are the data points that these lenders are looking at. And so if you guys don't, line up and meet these requirements, they're going to go ahead and they're going to give you guys a harder time on acquiring lines of credit. Granted, we know with consumer law, we cannot be denied credit. And if we are denied credit, we'll simply break down the FCRA, the definition of an adverse action. Will also break down, because the definition of adverse action defines that we can only be denied employment and insurance. Nowhere in the definition of adverse action, which is the letter that they actually send you after you've been denied, it's called an adverse action letter. Nowhere in the term adverse action does it talk about a denial of credit. And so this is where the deception comes from. This is where the false and misleading representation comes from. And so it's very important to get in tune with consumer law so that we do know how to exercise our rights and acquire the things in which we are granting these corporations in the first place. Without us, these corporations are not able to extend credit. We're the ones who is granting them the right to therefore extend credit. So in essence and in reality, we are the creditor. These corporations are corpse. They're pieces of paper. If I were to show you guys my LLC right now, it's simply a piece of paper. And that's all that these corporations are. And corporations cannot speak, they cannot breathe, they cannot see, they cannot hear, they cannot touch, and they cannot feel. We as a natural person can do every single one of those things. And we are and always have been the creditor. In fact, in Deuteronomy 15, it states, "You will lend to many nations but borrow from none." Right? We are the lender in every single transaction. Now on to the third step, right? The third one is your age of credit. Right? How aged is your guys' credit? We want to have at least 3 to 5 years of credit history. The fourth one is we want to have 10 open accounts. And this circles back to the step one, the data point number one. Data point number one is your payment history, right? So 10 open accounts is going to help with our payment history and show how well we are with paying off these lines of credit. Number 5 is we want to have 2 to 3 inquiries, right? The more inquiries we have, it's going to put us at higher risk because it's going to make it seem as if we need these lines of credit, right? Number 6 is 0 derogatory accounts. And this is where consumer law does come in play, because in understanding consumer law, we are able to go out and get anything removed from our consumer report, whether it's derogatory, whether it's delinquent, right, they're AKA negative, or whether it is even in good standing, right? I've had many students go out and remove student loans which are in good standing from their consumer report. And so it doesn't matter whether it's an open account in good standing or whether it's a closed account that is derogatory, we can get it removed with consumer law. And so that's what we're going to dive into here next. And so if you guys are looking to get that free audit, just go ahead and text the 305 number or message in the Discord, I'm looking to get the free audit. Just message that to me or message that in Discord, the Discord chat in Billionaires Club or in the mob chat. From there or outside of there, you guys can also text the 305 number down below in the description. So this is actually what an audit is going to look like from our company. We're going to break down in simple terms your report, what your score is, what's on your report that's reflecting the score to look as such. We're going to break down the derogatory accounts. We're going to let you know if you have any public records. We'll break down the inquiries, and then we'll break down your part in the process, and then we'll break down our part in the process and how we can speed it up. And so that's the audit and what it will look like a little bit. There is some more information in there as well too, but I don't want to give you guys, that client's personal information. And so The first step that we want to take when it comes to understanding consumer law is we want to understand the congressional findings, right? We want to understand congressional findings of each subchapter, right? So I didn't just hop into consumer law and start going through every single law that I had heard. Per deletion of inquiry, yes, we can get these accounts not only removed, but we can get $1,000 per inquiry. I didn't right away hop into the civil liability code that informed me that I'm able to get $1,000 per inquiry. That's like me looking to run and sprint before I can even crawl. We got to get down the basics and the fundamentals and the foundation before anything. If there's no foundation, I promise you, what you guys are looking to build and create, it will crumble and it will fall. And when it falls and when you guys don't get the desired outcome that you guys are looking to get right away, you guys are going to quit. So we got to get the basics and the foundation down to truly understand the power that we hold as a consumer. And so I always like to start you guys off by going in and understanding congressional findings. So this is what Congress found, right? Congressional findings and statement of purpose. So it's a statement and not a declaration of purpose, because Congress is leaving up to us to go out and investigate, the violations upon our consumer report. So the FCRA is the first place that you guys will look for your guys' consumer report and getting anything removed from your consumer report. The FCRA starts at 15 USC 1681, and it states accuracy and fairness of credit reporting. So it states here that Congress makes the following findings. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm going to read through the first one, and I'm going to leave this up to you guys to go out and do the rest of the reading for yourself. I got videos, and I got printed out documents of these codes, and where I've gone through and highlighted these multiple times, wrote down what each word means from Black's Law Dictionary. I've really dissected them. If you guys are looking to get a great breakdown of all of each one of these subchapters, join the mob. It's $25 a month on the YouTube channel. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It's on my YouTube channel, so you guys can go to Credit Gotti right next to the notification bell, which you guys all should have on, because we're going live every single month, every single day this month. Right next to it, you guys are able to get access to our membership level. And so it talks about the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. Right away, that should show you guys the power that we have. To be dependent upon something means that it's not able to live without it. A fish is dependent upon water. Babies are dependent upon their mother and their mother's breast milk. Without that, they're not able to survive. The banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. Right? If we think about fairness really quick, right? Fairness, if me and my guy Q Smith, right? We got a pizza and we are sharing this pizza. A lot of you guys, and we're cutting it right in half. A lot of you guys may think that it is fair simply because we're cutting it in half. But you couldn't be further from the truth, and it's not fair at all to me, because I'm plant-based. My guy Q Smith may not be plant-based. I'm not sure if he is or if he's not. But let's say for this example, he's not. There's pepperoni all on the pizza. There's some sausage on it. And there are some veggies on it as well too. But me, I'm not going to just pick out the sausage and the pepperoni, because it's already done soaked into the cheese. And furthermore, I don't eat cheese. All right, so let's say we split it in half. It's not fair to me. Granted, yes, we split in half, but I'm plant-based and I'm not going to eat that. So it's not fair, right? So what I'm getting at with this is, and that's why Congress made it very clear that it's a statement of purpose. You define what's fair. You define what is of value to you guys, right? The definition of accuracy is the measure of value. So if it's not of value to you, that's inaccurate. So we got to understand the true definitions and etymology of these words that we're using, and that's within just congressional findings alone. So the banking system, in essence, is dependent upon our credit. Fair and accurate credit reporting. Now, if I come here and if I keep reading through this real quick, inaccurate credit reports directly impair the efficiency of the banking system, and unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence. which is essential to the continued function of the banking system. So I want to take you guys here really quick to the Federal Reserve website. Here on the Federal Reserve website, federalreservehistory.org, we're going to be talking about, the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. And within the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, it talks about how President D. Roosevelt on March 9th, 1933, and this was our 5th international bankruptcy. If you guys understand what took place in 1929 through the early 1930s with these banks and people not being able to pull out their money from the banks, there's a reason and why the banking system collapsed. People lost faith within the banking system. People started hiding their money and placing their money under their, bed frames, etc., and, sock drawers, etc. Right? People took out and were trying to take out their money from the banking system, but they were not able to do so. So therefore, people lost confidence in the banking system, and the banking system took an even bigger hit because millions of consumers were looking to take out their money, and we keep this whole banking system flowing. Think about a river bank as a whole, right? Through a river bank, right, there's a current flowing through the bank, the river bank. The current is a currency, right? Currency is simply energy. We are the energy that keeps these financial institutions flowing. And so it's vital that, we do keep our money for these banks to continue, fluctuating. If you guys look at simply just what took place earlier this year with the bank out in California, what part of California was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't even think right now. I'm not sure. It's where all of the chips and stuff are made. Alright, I can't even think right now. Yeah, I'm not even going to look it up neither. But anyways, people weren't able to pull out funds over $80,000 from that bank. Right, people were not able to pull out funds of over $80,000. And so why I mention that is because there's something huge coming within the economy very soon. Anytime you guys see news, understand that news is simply moving these markets. And so what we've seen a little bit with Israel and, everything with Russia, understand that there's a bigger plague, happening and taking place. As one of my mentors who's very wealthy has told me, news is an excuse to move the markets, right? These economical markets are moving, and they're moving drastically. And as they do move and, take a hit, there's reasons why, and what goes up must come down. Nas just broke all-time highs, the NASDAQ, so it's going to be crashing very soon, as it is at all-time highs. The mortgage, industry and rates are at crazy highs. So they are going to be, taking a hit very soon. And as they do, understand there's going to be things in the news that are going on worldwide, etc. But at the end of the day, it's all things that are going on with the banking system. And the banking system needs us to have faith within, their corporation, within their movement, because without us, there is no energy flowing through them. And just to even make it more clear that we are the true currency of these banks wouldn't be soliciting to us if they didn't need us. And that's why the moment you guys turn 18, even with you guys having bad credit, you guys are getting pre-approvals and approvals for things knowing damn well you're not going to get approved for them. And so it's vital to truly understand, that it's essential for us to have confidence. Let's see what it talks about within the FCRA. So it talks about unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence. All right, they undermine the public confidence. Unfair credit reporting methods, which is essential to the continued functioning of the banking system. So it's essential that they report fair, credit reporting methods. If we look at simply yesterday's live, I talked about how Toyota Financial is getting hit with a $60 million lawsuit for unfair lending practices, for unfair credit reporting methods, right? Family, it's vital that what's about to take place is going to be huge. So us understanding consumer law is very essential to us positioning ourselves for what is to come, because there's a lot of reparations throughout all of the fraud that is taking place, especially right now. Bank of America getting hit with a $12 million lawsuit. There's a reason why these big corps are getting hit right now, and right now specifically, as this has been going on all year. But coming to the end of the year, and coming to what is about to take place, there's a reason why these big corporations are getting hit now. And so it's vital that we do go out and know how to exercise these rights so we can go out and get reparations. And so that's the FCRA. I want you guys to start with Congressional Findings. I want you guys to start with the definition section. Right? Master each one of these definitions. Each one of them. Next, we're going to get into the truth about credit. And this is in terms of you guys truly understanding the lending process. You guys must understand truth in lending, right? And understand that Congress finds that economic stabilization would be enhanced, and that the competition among the various financial institutions and other firms engaged in the extension of consumer credit would be strengthened by the informed use of credit. So if we were properly informed upon the use of our credit, it would strengthen these financial institutions. But then they found that they were misusing our credit, and that our credit has been being misused. And for that, and because of that, they came up with truth in lending. The title within itself, even the FCRA's title, Fair Credit Reporting Act. Somebody was not being fair while reporting credit, so therefore Congress passed the FCRA, and that was passed back in 1978. This right here, truth in lending, was passed in 1968. And so these are things that have been passed for decades. So this isn't something that's new that these financial institutions have been doing and taking advantage of consumers. These are things that are very well known when it comes to individuals that are of high wealth and in higher classes. And there's a reason why the rich stay rich and get richer, and the poor stay poor and get poorer, because we're not taught certain things. But that's why I'm here to educate and inform you guys upon your rights as a consumer, and that we are able to go out and discharge any and all debts, because we're not obligated to paying any debt, and all debts are obligations of the United States. Go look up 18 U.S.C. 8. 18 U.S.C. 8 will state verbatim what I just stated. You, the natural person, are not obligated to paying any debts. Where they got you guys is through the 1936 Social Security Act of creating this straw man, this fictitious entity, which is mirroring you guys, the natural person, and you guys are acting on behalf and in suitorship with this straw man, when you guys in fact are not this fictitious entity and corporation and organization which was assembled at birth. That's why they gave you guys your social security number, and this social security number is in fact your guys' credit card. And if you guys are just new to my teachings, you guys may be like, your credit card? No, this card from Amex is my credit card. This card from Chase is my credit card. Go look up the definition in pursuant to 15 U.S.C. 1602, which is where I'm going to lead you guys next. And these are the definition sections of truth in lending. See, we got to get familiar with the true definitions in law of these terms that we are going out and using. Right? The term credit is defined completely different than what we'll see in the Webster's or the Merriam Dictionary or what we'll Google online. I just went through a live and I broke this down to you guys. The definition of a credit card is completely different than what we'll see online, than what Congress is defining as a credit card. See, a credit card right here, I got it pulled up, so I might as well read it to you guys. Means any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. So I'm going to just stop you guys right there at the end, the last sentence, or services on credit. Services on credit. Services would be simply our lights, our utilities. Are they asking and are they demanding that we give them a Amex card? that we give them, a PNC credit card. They're not requiring any of these. They're requiring our social security card, our social security number, because this is the credit card, in fact, that is granting these corporations the right to therefore extend credit. From there, in the moment that they run our credit card, we've been entered into a consumer credit transaction. When cops pull you guys over, they ask you for what? License and registration. Your license is also a credit card. Once again, any card, right? And this card is creating a finance charge. A finance charge is the sum of all charges. The finance charge grants these corporations the amount to go ahead and pay off the debt in which they are obligated to paying. And so understand that this is all a game of commerce. That's all that this simply is a game of commerce, and you got to know how to play within this game of commerce. So that's truth in lending, family. The next one that I want to lead you guys to is I want to lead you guys to the FDCPA, right? The FDCPA is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and the FDCPA is for debt collectors. And so a lot of you guys would be surprised upon whom these debt collectors are. A lot of you guys think that it's just third-party, companies, when in fact these financial institutions themselves are also debt collectors and pursuant to the FDCPA's definition of a debt collector. But it talks about there's abundant evidence of the use of abusive, deceptive, and unfair debt collection practices by many debt collectors. Abusive debt collection practices contribute to the number of personal bankruptcies, to marital instability, to the loss of jobs, and to the invasion of individual privacy. So many individuals, privacy is being invaded, them coming to your place of abode, them reaching out to your guys' work. I done seen and heard so many different crazy tactics of these debt collectors in attempts to collect an alleged debt. And so it's vital that we go out and know how to exercise these rights. The next one, so if you guys haven't denied credit, this would be the equal credit opportunity. It talks about how it's unlawful for any creditor to discriminate against any applicant, right? As a person is a natural person or an organization. We can wear the hats of, yes, the natural person and the organization. So in this instance, we're going to be the organization. We're going to be the applicant. And it's unlawful for any creditor in this instance, right? And these corporations are creditors because we've granted them the right to therefore be a creditor, to therefore extend credit. If you think about an extension cord, though, an extension cord is not the true source of power. The true source of power is the battery. We are the battery, and we're the ones who is granting these corporations the right. And so through this, and they're not able to discriminate against any applicant, and oftentimes and many times they do. And so it's vital that we go out and we understand the equal credit opportunity, which starts at 15 USC 1691. The next one is for financial institutions, and this also goes into your guys' privacy. So we talked a little bit about it within the FDCPA. It's also mentioned in the FCRA's Congressional Finding. If you guys check out the mob and the overview that we have within there, you guys will see where I break that down. But this subchapter right here, the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, is a protection of non-public personal information. And it talks about how it's a policy of Congress that each financial institution has an affirmative and continuing obligation to respect the privacy of its customers and to protect the consumer and to protect the security and confidentiality of those consumers' non-public personal information. And so not only are these financial institutions and banks financial institutions, but Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are also financial institutions, and it'll tell you guys on their website. And so with knowing consumer law, where do we go to dispute? Yes, we can send letters directly to that company themselves, and that is a great step to take, and I do advise you guys doing that. Yes, we can send out letters to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion and dispute with them, but we can also file different complaints of these regulators of these companies. So for instance, the Federal Trade Commission has an online portal that we are able to go out and file and submit complaints against these corporations. Let me go ahead and create a video for this real quick. All right, family. So when it comes to us going out and disputing these accounts, understanding now the subchapters within consumer law that we must master and get down pat to go out and exercise, a lot of times people don't know where to go specifically to exercise these rights within consumer law. Title 15, Chapter 41, Chapter 94. So I'm going to help you guys sum it up and show you guys where specifically to go. So the Federal Trade Commission is one place that we can go to file two different complaints. The first one is going to be an FTC report that we're going to print out and send to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So we're going to print out a copy because in pursuant to 15 U.S.C. 1681 C2, it talks about the block of information resulting from identity theft, and it talks about and mentions 4 different requirements of certain documents that you need for them to block information. When you guys call them, which I do advise you guys call them to get, certain information removed, whether it be old addresses, whether it be anything old that's not current, I would have them removed because the less information, the better that they do have upon you guys. Furthermore, you guys can also call to remove inquiries on the phone, which is very simple, but if they don't remove them on the phone, they will ask you for this FTC report. And so this FTC report can be done here at identitytheft.gov, and you guys can get started there and report identity theft with credit card accounts. And so I just showed you guys how to do so, and within the mob, I do go through a great breakdown of how to go out and get that done. The next step that we would take after we've gone through and created an FTC report is we would actually file a CFPB complaint as well too. So the CFPB complaint is going to go against the derogatory counts that we do have on our consumer report. This is not needed for inquiries, but this is needed for any derogatory count such as a collection, a charge-off, a repossession, a bankruptcy, anything late payment. This will be within the CFPB complaint. So what I want you guys to understand is that we'll print out 3 copies of both the FTC report and the CFPB complaint, and we're going to create a cover letter as well too, breaking down and exercising how these accounts are inaccurate and how we want them removed. And you could just mention the accounts listed within each report. We're going to print out 3 copies for all Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Then we're going to send this off certified mail to these corporations, and this is going to help in terms of us getting these accounts deleted. The next step that we'll take is we'll come here to report fraud.ftc.gov. This is an online complaint through the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, that will file against specifically derogatory accounts. So the inquiries will all be included on identity theft report.gov. This one right here, report fraud.ftc.gov, is going to be for derogatory accounts. Once again, evictions, collections, late payments, charge-offs, right? Any derogatory or delinquent account will be report fraud.ftc. After we've done this, we're going to go to the state in which we're in, and we're going to file an attorney general complaint, right? Any state that you guys are in, go to that state's attorney general, and you guys will be able to file a consumer, complaint against these corporations. And last but not least, what I will have you guys go out and do is file a BBB complaint. So BBB is the Better Business Bureau, and they also regulate all of these corporations. And so these are the steps that we'll take to go ahead and exercise consumer law. So yes, we know all of these laws and codes and how these corporations are violating us, but we must understand how to go out and now exercise these rights that we are aware of. And how we'll do so is through these regulators, which I just mentioned. So y'all heard it first, family. Now it's time to execute. Knowledge is simply potential power. Applied knowledge is true power. So we got to apply the consumer law codes that we do know with these regulators, which I've just mentioned. I went through a breakdown in order of which ones to go to and file first. You guys can simply even copy and paste the letters that you guys are drafting up within one complaint to another, to the BBB through report fraud.ftc. The same complaint you used in the CFPB, you can use, to dispute an account through report fraud.ftc. You can use that same one through the Attorney General. You could use that same one through the Better Business Bureau. And so it's vital though that we do go out and we are in communication with these companies and applying that pressure to them. And so this is for all of my starters and newbies. Let me see if there is any questions, and if there's no questions, I will see you all tomorrow, you know, on the channel. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys drop and hit that notification bell so you guys are informed upon all of the lives going forward. And if you guys are here on Instagram, make sure you guys are tuned into the YouTube channel as we're growing daily. You know, we're going live as well too daily, so you know, don't miss out on all of the information in which we're dropping here on YouTube. You know, I don't always go live. We got 22 viewed right now on YouTube, and so you know, this is one of our lower days but more personal days, which I love. And so very grateful for everybody that is tuned in, and I'm excited to keep growing with you guys also. Any derogatory count, anything that's negative on your guys' consumer report, you know, make sure to drop in the Discord, you know, some information and some insight that you guys may need to get these things done and removed. Like I mentioned earlier on today's live, we can help you guys with the free audit, right? Completely free, nothing attached. All we'll need is that $1 credit report. So if you guys are looking to get that done, text the 305 number in the link in the description down below of this video. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Once again, family, peace, love, and light. Take care of yourselves. And I am going to be going live and streaming tonight as well, some high frequencies to help you guys have some lucid dreams. It's going to be an American Indian flute with some 528 hertz. And so it's a healing frequency. You know, on top of that is going to be an indigenous American Indian flute playing in the canyons of the Southwest. So looking forward to this. Is something that I sleep to every single night. So if you guys are looking to have some lucid dreams and, you know, tap into the astral realm, you know, make sure you guys are tuned into tonight's stream. I'm going to stream that probably here in the next hour. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And I'll see you all on that live, you know, and in